A while back, I made a couple videos on making fire starter from cedar shavings and paraffin. I never did get around to making the demonstration of those fire starters, so that's what this video is. I wanted to come this afternoon and talk to you about some of what I've been doing. It's been a while since I've posted a video, and so I thought I would do this, and hopefully I'll be able to post it. I'm going to address a couple of issues. One is that I never did demonstrate the fire starter and the fire logs, and so I'm going to show you how they work. And I got some comments about my need to add stuff to the fire starters to make them ignite better. And that was well-intentioned, but I wanted to do this so that you can see how they work. I'm out here on my deck. This is my Franklin. I cook in it. I make fire in it. It serves as a fireplace for my deck. It serves as a cooking unit, and I love it. We looked at putting a lot of different kinds of things in, and finally we had a couple of old stoves, and we got one good stove out of the two of them, and we've had it out here for a lot of years, and it's been awesome. We built this deck in 2012. We built this pergola part of the deck. The swimming deck was built before then, but we built this pergola and dining deck in 2012. So I'm also going to walk around and show you a few things and in my area, in my world here, because this is my summer world and I love it. What I'm doing on the videos that's taking so long, I'm making a video showing you how I have constructed the cushions for the inside of the bus. And that has taken much longer than I thought. And now I'm to the point of editing and compiling video, and I've got a new phone, and so that is also a little more involved than I think of it, than I thought it was going to be. Excuse me just a second. I cannot use chemicals like sprays and things like that for mosquitoes and bugs, but what I use is 90% alcohol, and it has a tendency to rid me of the bugs. Problem is as soon as it dissipates, they come back. Yep, they do. But that's part of what it is. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'll show you around a little bit, but the first thing I'm going to do this evening is to demonstrate how the fire starter works. This is one of the fire starter biscuits. It will burn for about an hour to an hour and a half. And by that time, if you have a well-constructed fire, you're probably going to have a good fire. Usually it takes, maybe about 20 minutes. And that's how easy it is to light these things. Now I have to get them off of it before I can create a fire. A real fire, and that will sit there and burn as long as we are here. I do have some boards in there, but I'm not wanting to necessarily get a real big fire going, though I am going to show you one of the little fire logs. And so between the biscuit, which will burn for a long time, if you have good kindling, that will catch it. Yes, it will. And you see, it needs nothing added to it to make it burn well. It just doesn't need it. The same way with the fire log. This is a cedar fire log and wax fire log. Now some of them stay pretty, the paper stays pretty clean, and others absorb the cedar, and I don't see a whole lot of difference in them, because where you light them is like you would if you bought those little fire logs. You light it to this side, and you can see that that started really fast. You light it to this side, and you can see that that started really fast. And I'm going to put that in there, and you can see that it'll burn. And that'll burn for a good long while. It really will. If you have wet wood or anything like that, this log will dry it out a lot. Yeah, if it's too wet, you know, you're going to have problems with it, but you already know that. But if it's a little bit damp, say it got rained on, that really helps. Or if your fire pit, like this is, the Franklin is kind of wet because we've had days and days and days of rain, then that log is going to help the other logs get started. And you can see the one over here on this side is the little cedar biscuit, and the biscuit will go for a long time. It really will. So that is the conclusion of the making of my fire starters. And I'm sorry I didn't get this done a while back. I started to do that, and then I got busy making the cushions and started doing video for those. And in doing that, I just kind of let this go. Well, and then we've been through a real rainy season, and it's not been that easy to get out here. I cleaned my deck this afternoon, and I'm going to get this and turn it around and show you my deck system. Most of you know my deck system, but some of you do not, and I'm going to show people who want to see it my deck system. A good amount of time passed between the first video and this next part. And I just wanted to let you know that it didn't just go right into the other. And I think you'll notice that from the size of the fire that is there. They had been burning for probably about 30 minutes to 45 minutes at this time. Okay, I'm going to show you a little bit around my system of decks. While I'm up here, there is the fire. It's been a few minutes, and you can see that everything is burning real well. The log is catching the other logs. The little biscuit is catching the small stuff around it. It's still burning. It will for a while. This is a planting bed right here that actually came up from seed. The plants I had in it last year came up from seed. I have some plants to put in it. That right there is a moonflower, which is really beautiful in the summer. I have some blackberries in here. It really needs to be weeded and taken care of. And they're not very ripe yet, but they will get that way. This is a cabinet I made to hold those tubs that are full of the stuff I cook in and cook with and we eat with. And they stay out here on the deck. I also made this little bar height table. It has a couple of benches. Right now I've got different things piled on it. I need to clean it again. I had everything clean at one point, and then the rains came back. And we've had a lot of rain, and things have gotten kind of dirty again. I also made this table for dining, and it has a porcelain top on it. And I made this storage box, and I'm thinking about going ahead and putting some of the porcelain tiles on it as well. Over here I have a large bed of mint, and it's wonderful. I have a little bit of rosemary left. Most of it died. I have this rosemary that I planted in its stead before I realized that rosemary was going to live. But I think I'll probably take that out because I'll just enjoy this. That is a globe basil. Very spicy, very yummy. I have indigenous passion flowers that will climb up this and go across those pieces of bamboo all the way up and bloom throughout summer. There's another one right over there. Yeah. So this is my dining deck, pergola. Let me show you my fans. These fans are something I did. I made the blades out of acrylic pieces. I'm going to turn that down a little bit and it'll slow down, and maybe you can see it, and maybe you'll have to see it after it really slows down. But the fan blades are made out of acrylic pieces, and the plates that the fans are attached to, they have a nice gasket on them, are made out of acrylic pieces as well. Melted acrylic has become an art form with me and not just a little craft. And someday maybe you'll get to see some of that. Now you can start seeing those fan blades as they slow down. And they're pretty cool. They're just different colors of acrylic beads melted together. Yeah, into the shape of the fan. And maybe I can, as I said, show you how that's done. These are my two Thai basil planters. The Thai basil is good for a lot of things, but mostly I grow it for the flowers. And the flowers make wonderful tea that relieves your joint inflammation and pain. And it also is good for your blood pressure and for your blood sugar. Yeah. I have over here a oregano that I cook with a lot. I love my herbs. Yeah. This is my deck around my swimming pool. And earlier today, I worked for about an hour and a half getting all the algae out of it and getting all the leaves out of it from all the rain time. It's hard to vacuum in the rain, and the algae will grow even when it's raining. So yeah, but it's clean. It's about 79 degrees. It needs to come up another 4 or 5 degrees before I'll even consider getting in it. And another 7 or 8 degrees before I'll consider lollygagging in it. Yeah. This is the bridge from my pool deck over to the hill. And we have a very hilly backyard. And I have terraces of herbs. There is my common sage and my tarragon. This is cilantro, and it is tons of cilantro that grew all through the winter. It never does that, but it did this year. Right at the end of that terrace is some monarda. And over on the next side over there is bee balm, St. John's wort, white sage, and some asparagus. Yeah. The cilantro will soon be turning into coriander, and I will reap the coriander, reseed the beds. There is also a good bit of thyme right in there. Yeah. And there's some other weeds that need to be pulled out. I have some onion that is blooming. Those are those purple round blooms. And then I have a lot of 3 different kinds of lavender that is blooming as well. And my grapes. Yeah. At the top of this bridge is my observation deck. And off of it, I have the solar heating system for my pool. And this is where I come up with my telescope to sit and look at the sky. This is my clearest view of the sky. Though right now it's pretty gray. Yeah. This is a large wisteria that has never bloomed. It's supposed to be a hybrid, and it's supposed to bloom, but it hasn't. And there's a bird that has a nest right up in there, and she gets real upset when I get around it too much. A lot of things need to be taken care of. We're doing a lot of different kinds of things, and as that result, we haven't gotten everything. Some things always have to be neglected. The wisteria was cut back last fall, and then with the bad winter, it did not bloom gloriously this spring, but it is an indigenous, and so it will bloom on and off all through the summer. And yesterday when trimming it off of the deck, I saw about 4 or 5 blossoms getting ready to open. Groups, yeah. And the wisteria is all on top of the pergola as well. It shades it, keeps it cooler in the summer. Doesn't do much about keeping the rain out, but it does create a lot of shade. I hope you had a good time looking at my yard and at the use of my fire sticks. And I hope that you will join me again next time.